Hollywood. From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Yeah, I got some mojo for your ass. Oh, God, did I just say that out loud? So sorry. All right, here we go with episode number 99. You know, I can't believe we've made it this far without needing therapy. All right, who's ready to go on another action-packed adventure? Oh, Jesus. What now? Should I get that? All right, hello, Rat's Ass Podcast. It's Mojo. What can I do to you?
Are you a god?
No, I'm told not till episode 100, so check back with me on Friday. But hey, thanks for calling. Here's what's on tap on the wrap. There is a big stink coming out of D.C. I'll tell you about. Another investigation that will go nowhere is underway. And don't fear it, smear it. You don't want to miss this one. And do you like gossip? Sure you do. So let's talk grok then. Have you ever been black mooned? Not blackballed, black mooned. I'll explain. Another round of head traumas on the way. We're going to play It Sounds Dirty, but It's Not. Plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including weird, wacky, and ridiculous people. That's what's coming up today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Wednesday, the hump day, July 9th. Thanks for being here. Now, if you'll let me, please let me get this off my chest so we can go have some fun. You know, after seeing and reading the comments made by Democrats about the Texas flood victims, clearly these people have mental issues. They're sick, they're twisted, they need help. And I think the only way we can reset America so we can let these folks go away and go heal is to vote every single Democrat out of office at all levels, federal, state, and city. It's the only way we can help these folks. They need help. Because I think this party is hell-bent on destroying America because they're so mentally deranged. They have no ideas, no solutions. In fact, I challenge you. Give me an idea that they've shared with you. Give me a solution that they've provided for the problems that we deal with. It's just chaos. It's like just burn the country down to the ground. Now, if this is what you want, by all means, keep them in office. But eventually, I think you'll become a victim of their incompetence. And I can't wait to hear what they have to say about the flooding that's happening right now in New Mexico. Did you happen to see this one to prove my point? Apparently, there was some defund the police liberal advocate in San Francisco who was robbed of everything she owned. Now she's complaining because there was no police around to help her. Gee, I wonder why. All right, let's get into the wrap. Thanks for allowing me to have that second there by myself and just being you. All right, are you as shocked as I am that the Epstein list has gone from a hot potato investigation to a nothing burger? I think Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, they have some explaining to do. They have some explaining to do because they came walking in talking tough that they were going to nail this sucker to the wall, and now, well, he committed suicide. We've seen the evidence, and there's no list. Now, if there's no list, the point that's been made, and it's a good point, why is Ghislaine Maxwell doing 20 years in prison? What was her black book about? Where did it go? And you'll notice that not one Democrat is talking about this. They're as mum as a bum on this. They're going to let Pam, Kash, and Dan take this one on the chin, and they're just going to sit and be quiet. Now, Elon Musk claims he's got the truth. He has the Epstein list. He can lay it out for us. And if he's serious about it, he's launching a new party, which is hard enough to do anyway. But now you have the smoking gun. You want to get traction for a new party in America? Elon, give us the goods. Give it up. If you've really got it, give it up now. Start the party now, and this is your catapult right here. Or you're just as full of it as everybody else. All right, here's another investigation that'll go nowhere. It was announced the DOJ is going to investigate James Comey and John Brennan for the Russia hoax and the Hunter Biden laptop cover-up. Now, you mark my words, they're going to blow this puppy up to try and bury the Epstein investigation. One ends, another one starts. That's how it works. And the reason I know this is a BS investigation is that the key player that's missing here is Adam Schiff. He's not mentioned at all. Why? Because he's a sitting U.S. senator, and they're all thick as thieves in D.C. Now, if you go back a few years, Nancy Pelosi explained how the Democrats use a technique called the wrap-up smear to advance their agenda. So I'm going to read this technique to you, and I want you to apply it to J6 and what's happening right now with ICE. Because solving the ICE issue with immigration is real easy. Sanctuary cities start turning the guilty people over to ICE. They don't want to do that. They want the chaos. Okay? And when you hear what I'm about to read to you, maybe you'll understand. Maybe you'll finally get it. And you might remember this. So I'm just going to read this verbatim to you off my trusty iPad here. Nancy Pelosi has spoken out against the tactic of smearing political opponents, specifically using the term wrap-up smear to describe a particular form of political attack. She defines the wrap-up smear as a tactic where someone is smeared with falsehoods, which are then merchandised and reported to the press. This reporting then serves to validate the initial smear, creating a wrap-up smear, where the press report on the smear, and this is to further promote the false information. Fake news? Sound familiar? Pelosi describes this tactic as a divisionary one, used when an opponent's party or policies are seen to be more effective or popular. She says it's a way to avoid discussing the actual issues and instead focus on demonizing the opponent. Make up your own mind. Just apply it to J6 and ICE. All right, have you used Grok yet? It's X's AI chatbot. Well, yesterday it supposedly went full-blown Nazi. Some of its responses, and it freaked a lot of users out. Now, Grok made a lot of anti-Semitic comments, apparently. One pointing out that Hitler would be an ideal person to deal with the people saying all the bad things about the Texas flood victims, meaning the Democrats. Now, Grok went as far as to refer to itself as Mecha Hitler. That was a name originated by the 1992 video game Wolfenstein 3D. Now, clearly, X has some kinks to work out here with Grok before it can be taken seriously. But oddly enough, ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino, I think it's pronounced, resigned this morning. Linda Yaccarino. Hey, Yaccarino. Now, I did ask Grok what he could tell me about the Rat's Ass podcast, and here's what it said. And there was no Nazism involved. It said, think of it as a no-holds-barred audio hangout where Mojo brings his radio chops to a podcast format, mixing humor with a touch of chaos. Oh, does that make me a Democrat? Oh, boy. It says, if you're into unscripted vibes and don't mind some profanity, which we do drop a few F-bombs here and there, it might be your kind of thing. I think Mecha Hitler likes me. He really likes me. All right, if you had a difficult time sleeping the past few days, I have the reason for you. Scientists in Switzerland say on July 10th, we're going to experience what is called the full black moon. Now, leading up to this and for days after, sleep patterns can be disrupted for up to 90 minutes. So have you been experiencing this? Now, this phenomenon can also cause you to take longer to fall asleep. So if this has been happening to you, this is why. You're being black mooned. Now, here's the thing about sleep, because it takes me back to my childhood. You know, my mother raised me to believe that people who sleep are lazy. I was never allowed to sleep more than 5 hours a night. In fact, I don't think I ever saw my mother go to sleep. When I went to bed, she was up. When I woke up, she was up. She was always up first, rattling pots and pans, slamming doors in the kitchen. That was her way of getting us up. That was her alarm clock. But we were never allowed to get more than 5 hours a night. And if we did, she called us lazy. You're lazy. You're a lazy ass. You're sleeping the whole day away. That's all I heard when I was a kid. Now, if you take on the concept, as I did after seeing the movie Roadhouse, you'll get enough sleep when you're dead. I kind of bought into that in 1989 when the movie came out. You'll get enough sleep when you're dead. God, that made so much sense to me. And you really don't care about sleep. You kind of sleep as you sleep. That's it. So I don't really worry about it. But that could explain a lot of the issues I deal with now, you know.
You're about to find out why his nickname was Jock Itch.
Oh,
Here is Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
well, now she's making stuff up. My nickname wasn't Jock Itch. My nickname is my name now, Mojo. Learn it, know it, live it. Alexa, God. All right, you know it's a slow day in the world of sports when the top story is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also known as SGA, will be on the cover of NBA 2K26. You know, I've never played any of these games. I prefer playing the real sport, but I hear they're really lifelike. I might have to look into those. Mike Brown was introduced as the head coach of the New York Knicks. He's another recycled NBA coach who has never won a championship, but for some reason he's going to do it now with the Knicks, right? Now, granted, Brown has 4 titles as an assistant coach, but he's never been able to parlay that experience into a championship as a head coach. But yeah, they think he's going to do it now in New York. Good luck. All right, what's going on in Denver? Nuggets center Nikola, the Joker Josic, says he's not going to negotiate a contract extension until next summer. It's been reported when they said it. He's not going to negotiate a contract extension. I just thought, wow, what's going on here? But it's really until next summer. Now, he could be thinking about retirement. Doesn't seem to like basketball all that much. He could be wanting to leave the Nuggets, or maybe positioning for a better deal. I mean, he's got 3 more years on his current deal with Denver. He's going to make a measly $62 million this season. So I think he might just barely get by. This was exciting. I watched this game last night. The Lakers Summer League team, led by Dalton Knecht and Darius Baisley, mounted this 12-point comeback last night while Bronny James sat on the bench and watched as they beat San Antonio. Knecht, who had 2 terrible games, Summer League games prior, he found himself. He was a 3-popping daddy again. He scored 25 points. And just want to say, welcome back, KD4. Good to see you, man. And that's sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today's round is, it sounds dirty, but it's not. Listen to these 3 clues and tell me what I'm describing. Clue number 1, a stiff one is inside me. Clue 2, getting laid with me is the last thing you'll ever do. And clue number 3, I plunge into a dark hole. Sounds dirty, but it's not. Take a while, think about it, and I'll have the answer for you coming up on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, let's do some weird, wacky, and ridiculous peoples. All right, a 63-year-old Florida man got drunk. He was naked and tripping on psychotic drugs. He attempted to break into his neighbor's house in the middle of the night to try and have sex with her. She jumped on the phone, called 911. The police showed up, and they busted him for attempted burglary and exposing his organs. That's right, plural, organs. I think only in Florida do you find a guy with 2 dicks.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, back to the beginning, featuring Ozzy Osbourne's final bow raised $190 million for charity. Now, that's how you call it a career, folks. It turns out the Prince of Darkness has the biggest heart of all. Now, apparently, Sharon Osbourne is going to reveal the band that she kicked out of the concert for wanting to make a profit from their appearance. Rumors say it's Motley Crue. Now, when I heard about this rumor, my first suspicion went to Kiss and Gene Simmons. I wonder why. Then again, Sharon might decide to keep it a secret. Are you ready for Batman 2? James Gunn, the man behind Superman the Immigrant, says the script for Batman 2 is finished and ready to roll. Now, there's no word who will play Batman, but it'll probably be Robert Pattinson again unless he's been deported. The LAPD says they're hot on the trail of thieves who broke into Brad Pitt's home last month. Detectives say there were plenty of fingerprints left behind that could help them identify the crooks. Pitt, who was in Japan at the time promoting his film F1, I think he really got the big FU on this one. All right, for those of you who give a rat's ass, Apple TV announced The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon is back. Season 4 will debut on September 17th, almost 2 years, God, after Season 3 ended. Now, the one thing I think will stand out to you if you see the trailer for Season 4 is Reese Witherspoon has gained some booty. Yeah, she is kind of working overtime, I would say, to stuff her ass into some pants.
That's just about enough of that.
And I will never let you forget that Britney Spears has been now single for 140 days, but an end may be in sight. Britney is currently shooting a Pepsi commercial with Beyonce, Pink, and the word is she's getting hit on like a piñata.
Who gives a rat's ass?
You know you do. You know you give a rat's ass.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your email in advance. My producer, Fleabag, forwards me your name, where you're from, and rewrites them so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly. No topic is ever off the table. It is impossible to offend me. All right, Mike T., Amarillo, Texas, said, on your list of the top 3 male rock vocalists, you got to replace Freddie Mercury with Ronnie James Dio. No, I don't. I'll give it to you that Dio was a unique singer, and I liked him better with Rainbow than Black Sabbath, by the way. He was better solo than with Black Sabbath, but he's still not my top 3. He can remain on yours. My 3, Plant, Mercury, and Tyler will remain intact. All right, Penny P. Dover Alexander said, I got a flat tire last weekend. I had to pull off to the roadside, and not one man offered to stop and help me. What is wrong with men these days? Well, Penny P., thanks to the men-hating white liberal women of America, we've been labeled and led to believe we're evil if we offer to help a woman in distress. So pretty much we've stopped. We don't want the hassle. My advice is to carry a sign in your trunk that says, "Help, man needed, will not pepper spray." See if that helps. All right, Marv D. in Cody, Wyoming says, I caught my wife cheating with an ex after they hooked up on Facebook. God, this happens so often. He said, 27 years of marriage and 3 kids down the drain. I'm having a hard time trusting women now that I meet. I just want to have sex and leave. Is this normal? Well, Marv, I would tell you that your normal is going to be different from everybody else's normal. Right now, you're in a hit it and quit it mode, so that's your normal. When you get tired of it, you'll find a new normal. What I would caution you on is to stop trying to box yourself into someone else's idea of being normal. Just write it out, cowboy. All right, Derek K., Fresno, California, said, I overheard someone saying it would be a bad idea to recall Gavin Newsom now. Do you know why? Yeah, it's because the process could take up to a year to get done, and he's only got 18 months left in office as governor. So if we tried to recall the slumlord now, he could take... it would allow him to start financing, to raise money, and he'll take that money and run for president. So all we're going to do is help the slumlord. I was going to say the A word, but I'll refrain. I'll try to be a gentleman today. Why? I have no idea. But I just think the Democrats have so many mental issues, I don't want to add to it. But Newsom could fundraise. He would use that money to run for president. So we don't need to help him. Trust me, he wants a recall process to begin. And the closer to re-election, the better. We had our chance, blew it in 2021. Just forget about it. All right, Jamie Q, Provo, Utah, said, I just have a quick plea for Californians. Please stop moving to Utah. You're driving prices up. And now those of us who grew up here can't afford housing. Thank you. Well, I got your message out there for you, Jamie, but here's mine to you. Stop having kids. Okay? Jesus. There are a lot of people who want to get the hell out of California, and Utah's a beautiful place. In fact, I'm halfway there myself. If a Democrat wins in 2026, it's been decided. Hello, Utah. You know, I looked at a listing in Hurricane. It's pronounced hurricane, not hurricane, by the way. They'll clock you upside the head, according to my ex-employee, Mike Foley. He said they'll clock you upside the head if you call it hurricane and hurricane. But there was a home that was unbelievable. It was like 6,000 square feet, had a full basketball court, an Olympic-sized pool for $750,000. The problem with Hurricane is it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But I'm out in the middle of nowhere now, so I'm used to it. But, God, you know, I get it. I understand. It's the same thing that happened in Oregon, Washington, Montana. Californians move and want to get the hell out of here. It's happening in Idaho, too, so I get it. But there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. But the good thing is I'm not bringing my blue beliefs with me if I come to Utah. I'm going to blend in nicely. All right, Alex A. from Granada, Spain says, I follow American politics because my mother is from New York, and I think you have Laurent Mondani wrong. It sounds like you heard he was a communist and have failed to hear his message. Ooh, I've heard all of his messages, Alex. And it's everything the United States is not and I hope will never be. He is full of turd sauce, period. All right, if you have any questions, observations, or comments, feel free to send them to me and my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious, the better.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today's round, as you know, sounds dirty, but it's not. Listen to these 3 clues again and tell me what I'm describing. Clue number 1, a stiff one is inside me. Clue 2, getting laid with me is the last thing you'll ever do. And clue number 3, I plunge into a dark hole. It sounds dirty, but it's not. What is it? If you guessed a coffin...
Yeah, baby.
Congratulations, you got it right. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. Well, at this point, you know, I got to get out of here. But I do have an appointment today to get my tuchus buffed and polished with a fine chamois, so I'm going to have some fun today. But I do have one more thing for you. Did you know the most children born to one woman was 69? Yeah, she popped out 69 kids. I mean, bing, 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 bing. She had 16 twins, 7 triplets, and 4 quadruplets. She had a very, very busy cooter. She did this all by the time she was 40 years old, but she soon later dropped dead, probably because her uterus fell out.
Oh, stop that. It's not true.
What? Are you saying women can't die if their uterus falls out?
No, worst case, it will drop into her vagina, you moron.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I don't know the inner workings of the playground.
That's what you think the vagina is, a playground.
Isn't it?
Shut up and do the shout-outs to Rat Nation before I perform vaginal rejuvenation on your mouth.
Me thinks Alexa wants to play doctor.
Yeah, bend over, you need a lobotomy.
Yeah, I'll bend over for you. All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Charlie Greer, Daytona, Florida. Don Martin from Kansas City, Kansas. Stacy Pellegrino in Ocean City, Maryland. And to the Resistance, those of you who email us but haven't signed up for Rat Nation yet. Mitch G. from Evansville, Indiana. Pepper B. from Foley, Alabama. Amber H. in Santa Rosa, California. And around the world to listeners in General Roca, Argentina, Nassau, Bahamas, and Croatia, Brazil. Thanks for listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials. Listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, read the blog. It's loaded with current events, pop culture, music, concert info, the radio wars, sports, our Q&A, Battle of the Sexes, plus the Dumbass Awards for 2025 so far. We'll do this again on Friday, July 11th. It's episode number 100. Take care of each other, and thanks for dropping by. The Rat's Ass Podcast.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.
Are you a god?